smiling. So, and if you look at the other side, it's the direct opposite of what is happening there. The violence, the populists, just few people, they have some narrative, and then you project that. You make those people happy, but many other people are not happy. They are crying. So it's not everybody that is on board. It's wrong. It's wrong journalism, this one. And that is what we are seeing at the moment, you know, the xenophobic discourses. Just projecting one narrative and leaving the other narratives. Journalists must condemn and expose all human wrongs, all human rights violations. For instance, criminal activities like stalking young girls or committing crimes like murder, you know, stealing. These are all human rights violations because you are depriving some other people from living and from having access to their property. So anybody who commits that should be condemned, be you a national of the home country, or be you a foreigner, or an international person, or a refugee. A crime should be condemned as crime and must be exposed. The wrongs committed by other people and leave the wrongs committed by our own people. If we do that, that is not human rights. And the journalism that we must practice must have a human face. It must not, even where you have problems like problem of discrimination, you should be, even if you are taking side, you should not take side with the people who are discriminating against the vulnerable communities. And this can be, it can be not just about refugees, it can also be about disabled members of the community. You know, it can also be about class, people who are poor and people who are well-to-do. You have to treat everybody equal and provide narratives. If the discussion is going, you have to make sure that the discussions are not just favoring those who are affluent in society. You almost have to take into consideration the voices of those who are less affluent. So you have to create a balance instead of creating imbalance in society. That there are some gaps. There are gaps in the policy. You know, for instance, the birth control. You know, and sometimes people escape from some of these policy gaps. So distracting from the real issues is not holistic problem-solving approach. And that is what the journalists should avoid. They should focus more on really solving the problems, a holistic approach to solving problems. You know, history, because sometimes people think about things that have happened in the past, maybe 100 years, 200 years ago, to inform their judgment about the present. And so sometimes that can create problems. Maybe in the past, 100, 200 years ago, some people were looked at as enemy people to the Turkish people. And it's unfortunate. Those people, they have died long time ago. So it's good to look at what is happening in the present, and not everything should be reduced to baggage of bad and good. Let us look at the present and look at how we can move on, from the historical past.
Aygın Yazlık Beyefendi 2 gün süren Hoşgörü Gazeteciliği adlı atölye çalışmamıza katılarak çok önemli katkılarda bulunmuş. Kendisini tebrik ediyorum.
Ben de Nesli Hocam özellikle tebrik ediyorum, kutluyorum. İbrahim Hocam'ı kutluyorum. Sakarya Üniversitesi'ne teşekkür ediyoruz. Böyle bir organizasyon yapmış olduğundan dolayı ülkemize de, ilimize de hayırlı olmasını temenni ediyorum. Tekrar teşekkür ediyorum.
When there is a problem, it's always good to avoid blaming someone and accusing them that they have started the problem. Look at the problem, see how best you can, address the problem by your writing, and avoid the blame game, because it could be that there is more to it than what you are saying. Find out about the problem and condemn it, because if it's a problem, then definitely you have